Next question is from Paul on Instagram. Hey, Adam, great work with the videos. Thank you, Paul. With water backing, what stage of the process can you do it? Why not at knockout? Are there risks around DO pickup with adding water post-fermentation? Great question, Paul. And yes, there can be. We made, large batches of DO water when I was at Sonder. We had the bells and whistles. We had a good DO meter that was calibrated. We had access to all the things to help us make shelf-stable beer. We would make deaerated water. We would put water into the kettle. We would boil it and then put it through the heat exchanger. And we would go into a bright tank that was clean, sanitized, and purged. Fully purged per our DO meter. And then we would hook up CO2 to the oxygen stone post heat exchanger. And we would blast CO2 into that cooled water now that is heading to the bright tank. And sometimes we would still have DO readings that we didn't want in that bright tank. And we would have to scrub it, either pushing through the carb stone and kind of venting, something like that with water. That's it's no problem. But yeah, I mean, we've seen that you can absolutely water back up front. You can turn 10 barrels of wort into a 15-barrel fermenter and then water back that thing up to the 15 barrels if you wanted. But one of the main things that people are looking to do is they're looking to maximize volume. And so you're not really maximizing your volume when you do that. Maximizing your volume would be, well, all right, I'm going to make a 60-barrel batch of this beer, but I'm going to make it at a higher density, and then I'm going to water it back 33%. So I'm going to get 33% more volume in the bright tank on a bigger beer, right? And then so you can dial everything in. And I also think that you're going to get different flavor profiles out of diluting pre-fermentation and post-fermentation, because that yeast is going to be doing that work at different densities. So you would probably be able to notice those things if you're being diligent. That's my thoughts on it, Paul. If you are going to be doing it post-ferment, I would boil the water that you're going to be using as your deaerated water. I would be pumping gas through it. I would be stripping CO2 through it. I would also be adjusting the pH of that water down, most likely with phosphoric acid, maybe lactic, depending on how much you need it to match the pH of the beer that you're diluting down. I would probably also get some similar water in there as far as calcium chloride and sulfate, something similar to the base, depending on how large of a volume you're going to be diluting with. So just a few things to think about. But Paul, I love that question. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate it.